Welcome to Build Your Maverick Business, the podcast for underdog, outlier, and renegade entrepreneurs. Brought to you by Strange Creative Studio. If you dream of going off on your own and launching your rebel empire, but don't know where to start, you're in the right place. We'll teach you how to use mindset, branding, and practical advice to build a killer business and transform your world. And now, here's your host, founder of Strange, Alex Pitt.
Hello, my darlings. How are we doing? Guys, I'm back onto the duvet fort. Because there's quite a lot of noise outside the flat today. There is some kind of building works going on. There's this sort of like low droning noise. I feel like I'm in some sort of dystopian future at the moment. So I thought I'd get under my duvet fort. Why not? It's also a bit chilly out. So, cost of living crisis. Let's keep the heating bills down. Get in the duvet fort. So I hope you're all well since I spoke to you last. I hope you've been enjoying the World Cup, if that's something that you are into. We went to watch the England-Wales match last night, and I was really looking forward to it because there's a pub down the road-ish from us, which has got an enormous beer garden, and it's gorgeous, like really, really nice beer garden. It's got its own little bar. It's got a little thing where they do pizzas. It's great. And they set up this enormous screen. So I thought, it's going to be great, wrap up nice and warm, get the atmosphere, enjoy a few goals. I was really looking forward to it. So if you watch that match, you'll know that England scored 2 goals within the space of about 3 minutes. Madness. So guess which 3 minutes in the 90-minute match I decided I needed to pee. I missed 2 fucking goals because my stupid bladder. I was so annoyed about it. But anyway, got to see the last one and England won. So I'm happy about that. Apologies to my Welsh friends, but yeah. Woo. Come on, England. Anyway, that was my evening last night. Now, my day yesterday, I can't tell you why this popped into my head, right? But I was doing a few bits around the house. I suddenly remembered this show that I watched about 5 years ago now. It popped into my head and I was just doing some bits. So I thought, I'll put that on in the background. And what it was, if you're a fan of Derren Brown, then you may have seen this. A few years ago, it was a little mini-series he did called The Experiments. Now, this one was all about luck, right? All about luck and whether or not it actually exists in the way that we think it does. So what he did was he actually secretly went undercover in this little town in Yorkshire, right? So this entire town is being used as an experiment. And what he did was spread a rumour that this little statue of a dog in a park was lucky. And if you rub the head of the lucky dog, then great things will happen to you. And it was mad how this rumour spread like wildfire and everyone started going along with it. And they did a lot of interviews with people to find out, if they tried it, if anything good had happened to them. And what started to come out was that there were certain people within this town who thought that they were really lucky, right? People who just thought that good things happened to them all the time. And they were very blessed by some sort of ethereal light shining down on them. I don't know. They thought that good things just happened to them and it was beyond their control. And there were some people who thought that they were just cursed. They were jinxed and only bad things happened to them. And what transpired through these experiments was that was absolute bollocks, right? This was not some kind of like written in the stars, some people are cursed, some things are lucky, woo-woo bullshit. Through these experiments, they set up different opportunities. And the one that really stuck with me, which I found so fucking hilarious, was in this village. There are 2, I think there was more than 2 pubs, but they focused on these 2 particular pubs. And they got the landlord of one pub and the landlady of the other pub. And they presented them with the same opportunity. Now, the landlord of one pub said that he was very unlucky. He said, I don't really think that good things happen to me. He was in that camp. And the other lady was the opposite. She was like, no, great things happen to me. I do think that I'm quite lucky. And what they did was Derren Brown called up his mate, Jason Manford, right? And Jason Manford acted like he'd gotten a flat tyre in the town right in front of each of these people at different occasions. Now the fella, the landlord, number one landlord, walked up to Jason Manford, saw that he had this flat tire, and Jason Manford was just like, oh, mate, can you help me out? And like, he knows who he is, right? He knows that this is a celebrity. Jason Manford says to him, like, got a flat tire, can you help me out? And he sort of is walking away, right? He's walking away from him. And he goes, yeah, garage down the road. There's a garage down the road. And Jason Manford's like, oh, could you? And he's like, yeah, no, you'll be fine, round the corner, it's not far. Walks off. And so Jason Manford's kind of stood there like, all right, never mind. So they repeat this same thing, right? They repeat the same thing with the landlady of the other pub. And she walks past Jason Manford and she's like, oh shit, it's you. Same thing. He says, I've got a flat tire and can you help me out? And she's just like, yeah, bear with me. There's a garage around the corner. Let me grab someone to come back and help you. So she runs down the road, she grabs someone to help him, comes back, and while this guy is fixing the tire, she strikes up a conversation. And she says, like, oh, like, where are you headed? Blah, blah, blah. And he says, well, we were off to do a show, but I don't know, where are you from? She says, oh, I run a pub, da, 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 da. Eventually, he says, well, do you want me to come and do a show at your pub? And she's like, what, are you joking? Seriously? He says, yeah, of course, you've helped me out, I'll help you out, I'll come down and do a show at your pub. So he tweets that he's going to do this show at this tiny little pub in this random little town in Yorkshire. And all these people start retweeting it. And all of a sudden, the pub is absolutely heaving, people out the door. And she makes thousands and thousands of pounds on the bar from this happening. She gets like all of this attention, all this press and publicity for her pub. And all because she saw an opportunity in front of her and she took it. Right? This other guy was presented with the same opportunity and he just walked off. Now, this is played out in different ways throughout the episode. Like one guy who says that he's jinxed, he's cursed. They put a £50 note on the floor in front of him and he walks straight past it. They present him with an opportunity to do some market research. And the market research is name 5 cuts of beef and we'll give you 20 quid. He's a butcher and he just walks off. Like, when they are presented with the actual facts around their situation, these people are like mind blown because they suddenly realise that this wasn't just, written in the stars, shit going on beyond their control. They were just missing opportunities. And the people who really thrived, who were really lucky, took those opportunities. They sought them out. And they were the ones who succeeded, who felt that good things happened to them. Now, you know that I love random waves of inspiration. So always bringing it back to business, my loves. This is something that I think is so essential when you are starting a business especially, but as it plays out over the years, you need to be so open to opportunities, even if they are not obvious, even if they're not like smacking you in the face. Now, a great example of this is when I first started Strange and I met someone who I now consider a good friend of mine who I do a lot of work with. I was on a lot of networking apps. I was on LinkedIn. I was out there looking for work. I think at first I was doing what a lot of people do, which is just very much going out there and looking for people who wanted to buy the exact thing that I was selling. Now, I am definitely in the camp of people who think that good things just happen to me, right? I've always felt like I was one of those people who was in the right place at the right time. And I remember when I watched this show thinking, oh, actually, that's right. Like, I do like to take opportunities and I do like to seek things out and I do like to give things a go, even if they're not necessarily leading me down a straight path to the success that I'm looking for. So when I was on all of these networking apps and all of these sites when I first started out, I was so willing to have conversations with people who weren't necessarily looking to buy what I was selling because I was so curious about how I could develop my business. I wanted to take on as many nuggets of information from as many people as I could and meet as many people as I could. So when I was on one of these apps and I met my now good friend Fiona, I had no idea that we were going to eventually build a masterclass together, that I was going to consult for her business, that we were going to have this relationship that we now do. She wasn't looking to buy what I was selling, but something about me thought, do you know what? I would really like to have a conversation with this person and see where it leads. Opportunities are everywhere. And a lot of the time, they're hiding in places where you don't necessarily think that they are leading to the success that you want. But I beg of you, be open to things, even if they're not smacking you in the face obvious that they are going to lead you to the success that you want. Have the conversation with the person that may or may not be able to help you with your business. You may be able to help them, and it could lead to something even greater. You know, try out the product that you're not sure if it's going to sell. Go to the event. Speak to the stranger. All of these things can lead you to success that you never knew was hiding. You've got to make your own luck in business. Seek out those opportunities. See what's hiding just around the corner. Look down and pick up the fucking £50 note. All right, my darlings. Have a wonderful week, and I will see you here next time.
Got an idea for a Maverick business of your own? Learn how to build a powerful brand that will get people obsessed with our online program, not just a pretty logo. You'll learn a simple step-by-step framework that will kickstart your killer brand and help you find your raving fan base. Find out more today at strangecreativestudio.com.